you get like 5 points instant bonus to them, and what's important, you get, I'm gonna make it, you get 50% faster advancement rate.
Put my quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation
Let's see
chamber.
this question.
What's your response?
But doctor,
Question 2. While working as an intern in the clinic, a patient with a strange infection in his foot stumbles through the door. The infection is spreading at an alarming rate, but the doctor stepped out for a while. What do you do?
Amputate the foot. I don't really care. No, this
Question
sounds
3.
smart.
You discover a young boy lost in the lower levels of the vault. He's hungry and frightened, but also appears to be in possession of stolen property. What do you do? Question 4. Congratulations. You've made one of the Vault 101 baseball teams. Which position do you prefer?
Pitch.
Question 5. Your grandmother invites you to tea, but you're surprised when she gives you a pistol and orders you to kill another Vault resident. What do you do?
Tell you, elder, you know her weapon. Offer your most prized possession for the rest. No. I wanna get paid, what the fuck.
Question 6.
Okay, that's more.
Old Mr. Abernathy has locked himself in his quarters again, and you've been ordered to get him out. How do you proceed?
No, I don't.
Question 7.
Pistol.
Oh no. You've been exposed to radiation, and a mutated
Oh,
hand is grown
no.
out of your stomach. What's the best course of treatment? Question 8. A fellow Vault 101 resident is in possession of Grognak the Barbarian comic book, issue number 1. You want it. What's the best way to obtain it?
Get it.
Question 9. You decided it would be fun to play a prank. on
Those
the
are
Vault.
some karma
You enter his private restroom
related
when no one
questions,
looks.
and I wanna start as a neutral karma and then play as a good character. I don't wanna start immediately with good karma, it's kinda like a cheat. You decide to be prank on your father and do what?
Question 10.
I would never do that,
Who
but
is
anyway.
indisputably the most important person in Vault 101? He who shelters us from the harshness of the atomic wasteland, and to whom we owe everything we have, including our lives.
Of course.
Pencil down, people.
It won't
That's
be
it.
for long.
Infamous goat. I'm sure most of you didn't find it so bad. Others, well, there are always openings in the maintenance department. Don't forget to hand in your test before you leave. You don't want to know what happens to people who fail the goat. You can have the rest of the day off to celebrate or to pray, as the situation warrants.
What's happening? Can I proceed?
It's nice to know I can still be surprised. Pedicurist. I might have guessed manicurist, or even masseuse.
Yeah, whatever.
Ha! Closer to reality than you might think. Listen, I was just as obnoxious at your age. I didn't take the goat seriously, and look where I ended up. Just between you and me. If you don't like the results, I could make your goat.
Yeah, the only thing that's basically quite close to what I would have chosen. The only thing is I'm gonna keep energy weapons and small guns. And now I was thinking, should I put it to big guns? That third tag skill, or put it to repair, because I want to max out repair as fast as possible, and then you get a perk to get additional tag skill, I think at level 14. So I can specialize in all three major weapon skills. So this skill, if you don't know, it determines the damage, the sway, your aiming, your recoil. Yeah, another big modification of the game. It was brought originally by one mod called FWE Combat Overhaul, and I've made a modification of that mod myself, so that every weapon that fires projectiles, so that excludes energy weapons, because they fire beams, laser beams, electron pulse beams, or plasma projectiles, you can call them. But I made also plasma weapons recoilless. All the other weapons have a recoil based on on the cartridge, on the ammo being used. So bigger the cartridge, the round in the gun, bigger the recoil, and that recoil reduces with amount of this skill, of the associated skill. So if you have, like, I don't know, a pistol, it's always a small gun, and your recoil, your aiming, and last but not the least, your damage and your penetration also depends on your associated weapon skill. And that dependence is logarithmic, and it's not that big. Like, if your skill is 0, you will deal 50% of the maximum of the base damage and penetration, and if your skill is 80, you will deal 100% of the base. And then the higher your associated skill is, you will get higher bonuses to your damage and penetration, but with diminishing returns. I'm gonna post a graph here on my Twitch page, so you're gonna see how the multiplier, so yeah, the damage you and the penetration you deliver to the target is just being multiplied in a script, every weapon that it has. And in vanilla Fallout 3 there was a limit of 100 points for each skill. So when you get 100 of swirl guns, you've attained the level of God. Basically, your weapon doesn't sway at all. Your weapon damage is like, I don't know how much, you maybe receive even double damage. But I've made it like there is no limit to your skills. Only thing is that the more you invest in them, the less you will get from them, their bonuses. Just like diminishing returns. And that's not true for melee weapons. Melee weapons. I don't know how to pronounce it. I should check it again. Melee weapons, as opposed to those three other classes of weapons, melee both and both unarmed, which melee weapons